Hello there, and welcome to the Stay Off My Lawn podcast, where we'll have a little fun, lots of laughs, and discussions on the common sense that needs to be applied to a lot of today's world news issues. And now, the disclaimer. Stay Off My Lawn is not intended as legal, medical, or financial advice. Void where prohibited. No purchase necessary to win. Open to legal U.S. residents 18 or over in the contiguous 48 states. Any resemblance to anyone living or deceased is purely coincidental. Actual price may vary. Only use as directed. Not a member of FDIC. And now, here are your hosts, Mike and Richard.
I have to give a shout out to my son. He made that music that we play every week. So
Yeah. I like it. I use it in our promos stuff as well, and we don't have to worry about royalties. And it's like, where did you get that from? Your beeswax.
It's only episode 132. I've been meaning to say something for the first 131 episodes, but here we are. I finally said it.
Well, not that we're slow on things, but
no. Hey, welcome to this week's episode of Stay Off My Lawn. It is August 26th, 2025, and this is episode, like I said, 132. And there's so much going on this week. I mean, we had to pare down a lot of stories that we'd like to cover, but there's just not enough time in the day.
Yeah.
I threw this show together partially yesterday, and it took me about 25 minutes to get all the stories lined up and everything. It was like going, well, shoot, I've still got, 40 messages I need to go through to go through the audio. It's like, well, never mind, because we're just going to do this because we don't have all day. We're old. We got stuff to do, young snip.
Some are not doing well, and some are just hanging in there. We both kind of got old man injuries at the moment. So
yeah.
Yours is just, you can hear it more.
Yeah, it's a little bleak over here, but it's all good. It's all good. God is good. I think it was Friday morning, the former NSA head John Bolton from Trump 1.0 got his house raided by the FBI. Gosh, it just sounds so familiar. But he supposedly he might have had some classified documents that he shouldn't have had. Every time I look at the guy, it just kind of like he just gives me the willies. I just don't really care for him. But anyway.
No, he's about as slimy as they come. He's, from what I hear, he's a rather quiet individual until you point a camera and stick a microphone in front of him. And then, boy, he's just got all kinds of things to say that you go, what?
Mr. Gregarious.
Nobody else saw any of the stuff you're talking about. That ain't right. Yeah. So, yeah, they said, hello, can we come in for breakfast? And he wasn't there. He was off somewhere else. So his wife had to deal with it.
He's busy for an 85-year-old guy or however old he is. Jeez.
Oh, and the stuff that he spews is just, are you serious? Do you think we don't have other means of finding that you're full of it?
He's got a severe
that your depends need to be changed? What?
Oh, his depends are definitely full. That's for sure.
Wow.
But anyway, he wrote a book after about his little 1 year tenure with Trump 1.0, and he called the book "The Room Where It Happened." I have not read this book. I can't tell you what's in it, but supposedly there might be some stuff that he shouldn't have discussed openly like that. From what I understand, Buck Sexton used to be a CIA person, and he understands all this, and he went into depth on when he wrote a book, some of the stuff, just because he worked in the CIA, he had to get serious clearance on everything. He had to send the transcript to them. They had to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. It took weeks, if not months, to kind of get everything cleared. Well, Bolton's clearance supposedly went through extremely fast. So, I mean, it's an arduous process. And if he had buddies on the inside, they kind of like fast tracked it. I mean, I suppose that's how the government works a lot of times. But anyway, remember,
didn't that come out during Biden's administration?
Yes, it came out in 20.
Oh, that would be why it was fast tracked.
No, it was 2020. But he still had buddies in the whole community there. And remember when Mar-a-Lago was raided, someone asked Mr. White Mustache John Bolton about it, and this is what it's whiter than yours. Trust me.
Mine is
Here's-
still salt and peppery.
yeah, you got a little salt in there. That's good. No, you got a little pepper. I had it
There
backwards.
you go.
Yeah.
Whichever. One or the other. I don't know.
Here's what he had to say when Mar-a-Lago was raided.
I don't think he cared about the classification system. I don't think he appreciated the sensitivity of this information, and he didn't appreciate the sensitivity of how it was often acquired, the so-called sources and methods. So this had been briefed to him before I arrived. It was repeated frequently. I think it simply had no impact on him whatever. It's very hard to speculate on motive other than that he liked cool things. He saw things that so he wanted to take them, and he was pretty much able to take them and not just on classified information matters, on all kinds of things that crossed his desk. Some days he liked to eat a lot of French fries. Some days he took classified documents. He wanted them. Why did he want them? Because he could get them.
Again, severe case of TDS. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they were there raiding his house for a reason. I don't know if he's got a vet and it's in the garage as well, or if it happens to be next to the gas water heater where things could go.
Yeah.
So
this is back when Trump's Mar-a-Lago got raided, and Trump wasn't in office. He expected him not to come back in office. Well, guess what? Guess what, Sparky? Tables have been turned.
Well, and that's the thing. I was just talking to the wife about this yesterday, that in the first go around with Trump, not knowing the rules and what the deals are, he thought he had good people that were giving him advice, and you need to put this person in that because he's been here, blah, blah, and this person, okay. All right, well, he did all that. And it turned out most of them were just crookeder than a dog's hind leg. And this time around, the reason the news media can't keep up is because darn near every single member of his cabinet is busy doing what they're supposed to be doing. And if it's not this one winning over here, it's this one over here winning and that one over there. And then we got this, and they're going, and the news media and the left are going, what's doing now?
They're not taking the weekends off and calling it a day at 4:00 in the afternoon either, like they did during the Biden.
Makes for a lot more news. We're having to, it's like, oh, what are we going to do when the election's over? We're going to be so, holy crap.
They're busy as they could be. What, 8:00 at night? Trump is talking? What do you do? Yeah, they're not happy about all that.
No, they're not. I can't get any sleep. Well, he doesn't sleep.
In all fairness, I think Trump was reveling a little bit in all this rigmarole with it when it went on with him. Here's what he had to say when the tables got turned on Friday.
No, I don't know about it. I saw it on television this morning. I'm not a fan of John Bolton. He's a real sort of a lowlife. When I hired him, he served a good purpose because, as you know, he was one of the people that forced Bush to do the ridiculous bombings in the Middle East. Bolton, he wants to always kill people. And he's very bad at what he does, but he worked out great for me because every time he doesn't talk, he's like a very quiet person, except on television. If he could say something bad about Trump, he'll always do that. But he really doesn't talk. He's quiet. And I'd walk into a room with him with a foreign country, and the foreign country would give me everything because they said, oh no, they're going to get blown up because John Bolton's there. He's not a smart guy, but he could be a very unpatriotic guy. I mean, we're going to find out. I know nothing about it. I just saw it this morning. They did a raid.
Do you expect the DOJ to brief you on this?
Yeah, they'll brief me. Probably today sometime.
And the foreign minister.
I tell Pam and I tell the group, I don't want to know, but just you have to do what you have to do. I don't want to know about it. It's not necessary. I could know about it. I could be the one starting it. I'm actually the chief law enforcement officer. But I feel that it's better this way.
I like that he felt like he had to school them on how the government works. By the way, I'm in charge of stuff.
Well, and this is how he runs a lot of his businesses as, okay, I'm giving you this task to do, and he expects you to do that task and get it completed and have it be done right. Yeah. And if you're not, then we'll find somebody who will. And everybody that he put in that cabinet, they're all working. They're all doing what they're supposed to. Kristi Noem has been to the border more times than the cackle queen flew over it.
She hasn't been to Europe either, so.
Well, she's actually been down on the border painting too.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's Oh, yes, I did see that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah,
They're painting it black, right?
she's not a prissy. They might think she is. She is not. This is someone who's worked cattle and goes hunting and yeah, this is not a prissy.
Yeah, she's tough. She's tough. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I don't think I've seen anything about what they might have found in Bolton's house, but we'll have to just wait and see. But yeah, this administration is definitely on their toes, and I've had bosses like that too. It does kind of help separate the sheep from the goats in the workforce. It's like,
Yep.
look, if you're not doing your job, you need to go, and I think it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all.
Yep, I agree. I had one of my best bosses was, want you and another guy. You guys are done theater and stuff, so if you need any outfits or what, just let me know. We'll get you things for a kickoff for a sales contest.
Yeah.
He said, I'll see it when you do it. He didn't have to approve anything. We knew what he was looking for, and we didn't usurp that authority to make it something that it shouldn't have been. So.
Well, when you gain the trust of your boss, that's how it works. I mean,
Yeah.
and you only gain the trust by doing the job that you have, the smaller tasks, and you get bigger tasks. And then he's like, it's more laissez-faire after that, which is what you want. You don't want
Yeah.
somebody breathing down your neck. So
Yep. That's what I enjoyed about doing the route work. As long as your numbers were good and things are great, they just left you alone. They had other problems.
no doubt, no doubt. We mentioned last week that some people can't stand it if they're out of the spotlight for more than 15 minutes or so. We talked about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
She needs a big spotlight.
She
Anyway.
does. She does. You need to just pan back a little bit. This week, Stacey the Gap Abrams, sorry, set up her fear-mongering flames again with a new type of word to describe the orange man, something I had not heard before.
I want to tie this back to the abundance agenda and how you think about blue state power. If it is true that he's a grand Ayatollah, that mystical power extends and can be, he can anoint his prophets, and he can remain in power even if he doesn't hold the title of president. And if that's the case, then there's no relief from this that is achieved by election, especially if we are truly in an authoritarian regime where elections are not real.
I just have one word to say. What?
and we thought Cackle Queen was word salad. What the hell? Did she go to Kamala's speech writing and...
She might have. She graduated with honors if she did.
No kidding. It's like, that's a word salad with a pitchfork. What in the world were you saying?
The left has stepped away from the Hitler reference. I wonder if that's on the list. I don't remember. There's a big list. And we were talking about it off the air. There's a big list.
That might be.
It might be. They might say.
Do they think that Ayatollah's...
The grand Ayatollah is like most young people in this country that you're trying to talk to probably don't know what a grand Ayatollah is. You probably had to be alive in the 1979 for you to really understand what a grand Ayatollah is. So,
and again, that's almost like having a Democrat because they've done nothing but ruin that country. Their hatred for anything other than what they believe in has virtually ruined that country. They were westernized. They were profitable. They were people had upwardly mobile stuff. It was great. And then he took over, and they went back to the burqas and go back to the Middle Ages. It's like, why?
It's like the Ottoman Empire all over again over there.
Yep.
It's terrible. The Shah did a great job of running things. I don't know. Was he put in place over there? Or was he elected? I don't remember.
I think they had elections, I want to say, but,
it seems like he was elected anyway, but he could have been put in place, but he was great. I mean, of course, he had to run from the country because they were going to kill him. But anyway.
There's always details.
There's only, I don't think they'd ever got to him, but, he was probably in Belgium somewhere. But I'm here. If I'm hearing her correctly, it sounds like what Obama said about his potential third term with an earpiece in his sweats, right? Because she was talking about, that he just had his profits, and they're going to be running the show long after he's gone. It's like all I can envision when I heard that was that she's in the or he's in the basement somewhere with a headphone in and talking to whoever it is, like he did with Biden. Oh, sorry, that shouldn't have been out loud. But
Yeah, Obama's just divided the country, and he was supposed to be a uniter, and it was anything but. And then his third term has not been very successful either.
no, as a matter of fact, it was worse than the first two.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people like Obama because he was the first half black president, and that's wonderful. I've got nothing against that. I think I think Condoleezza Rice would have made a great president, but nobody said anything about that because, when you boil it all the way down, it's truly not about skin color. It's about policy, and it's about if you're a conservative and black, well, God help you, they're going to ostracize you a whole lot more so than any white conservative. I mean, but if you're black and Democrat, well, then all bets are off. Everybody's good with you. But his second term, especially, I think was terrible. But
Just was working hard at trying to manipulate and destroy the country, and all the stuff. I just saw something again about a birth certificate. I don't know.
no, I don't know.
Anymore nowadays, they can make up anything that can look legit. Until somebody can actually prove it, other than just a piece of paper.
We're never going to get to the bottom of it.
No.
At this point, it doesn't matter. He's already.
No,
served
I
his
really could
term.
care less. You can say, "Oh, he wasn't a legitimate president." I don't care. He still was, and he still ran the country 3 times.
Yeah,
Whether anybody wants to say it or not, they're going, well, nobody talked to Joe, and that who was running the country? Well, there's only one.
And it reminds me of an old saying that my father had. It's like, well, he's illegitimate. Well, that and then 25 cents will get you a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
It
it's
doesn't
not going to
really
make it a
make
rat's
any
bit of
difference.
difference. So
Yeah.
they keep trying to push that. But yeah, no, he logged in to get in to be in the White House virtually every day when Joe only logged in 6 times the last year of his presidency.
Goodness.
In the
Oh,
last
you're
6
talking
months.
about the the auto pen was that was
It was
something that
busy.
starting in 2022. I mean, it was early on in the presidency that auto pen. And I think the last year it was only the auto pen. He didn't sign anything himself. There was one report that I saw anyway. So I don't know. We're going to have to just kind of wait and see on this. Do you remember Billy Bush? I know we're about 2 minutes.
Oh,
away
yeah.
from the break.
Yeah.
Billy Bush, he was one of the hosts on that extra celebrity gossip show where Trump said something off camera and got recorded that everybody's freaked out about. He shouldn't have said that, but he didn't know cameras were rolling or audio was rolling. I mean, people say weird things when they don't think they're being recorded. But anyway, he went on a bit of a rant the other day on the news that another pseudo celebrity has applied and gotten Italian citizenship, and here's what that sounded like.
I'm just going to say this. Hey, Jimmy, don't talk about it. Just stop. If you're going to talk about, I may go live in Italy, go live in Italy. I would posit America, no matter what and who is in charge, is still the best country in the world. And she is a resilient and elastic nation. And she goes on. But don't just talk about it. Go. Put on your tight little capri pants. Put on your Toms. Show me some ankle. Walk around capri. You go, girl. Go do Italy.
I love it. That's so great. I don't think I mentioned it. Pseudo celebrity was Jimmy Kimmel. He might be just he might have just had enough.
Yeah, he's got, and he was talking. Was she just a girlfriend or was she his wife? I don't think they ever got married. I think it was just his girlfriend, another comedian.
Sarah Silverman? Is that
Yes.
her name? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on her podcast the other day. I saw.
Yeah, and that's what she goes, oh, really? You did? Oh, that's so great.
Gosh.
Like, I'm jealous that you can go somewhere else. Rosie went to Ireland, and she tried to get citizenship for Ireland, and the last I've heard is it was denied.
Just because your name is O'Donnell doesn't mean you're a shoo-in. I mean, you're going to have to do
Yeah,
something
she thought all
different.
this is going to be, and yeah, she's not having a real wonderful life over there. I think she's lonely because there's
Yeah.
nobody else around. It's like, I'm leaving, no, 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 no. And
Nobody
then somebody,
recognizes
yeah, she gets on her little webcam and does interviews, and they don't make a lot of sense, and she just doesn't look right. And then you have
Oh, she looks terrible. Yeah.
Ellen and
Oh, Ellen looks even
Portia.
worse.
They're just having, they want to do all this stuff to their property, and they're on something like that's how many thousands of years old stuff, some of the stuff. Oh, and we're just going to mow that down. And it's like, no, you can't. What? But we want it. You don't get that option.
No, and I don't remember what year it was, but up until a certain point in the 20th century, that home ownership or land ownership just didn't happen very often with regular everyday people. It was only owned by royals. If the royals decided to sell the land to somebody else, like some Duke of Essex or whatever, if they wanted to sell their land to somebody, that could happen. But yeah, they just don't understand. They don't have the same rules over there.
No, well, you just go and it's the same as America, right? No.
No. Just because
No,
they speak
no.
English doesn't mean,
Yeah.
Rosie, that interview you talked about, Rosie O'Donnell, she was being interviewed by Chris Cuomo the other day, direct from Ireland, I'm assuming. But
Yes.
she didn't sound great, but she was explaining how she got to the point where she was.
During his first go round, it was very difficult, and I got myself into some bad places. I was very, very depressed. I was overeating. I was over drinking. I was so depressed, Chris. I can't, it hurt my heart that America believed the lies about him. And then it broke my heart to be in a business that creates and sells those lies for profit. It was very heavy, to tell you the truth.
Okay. Somebody was triggered, I guess. I don't know.
I was not doing well. Things are bad. It's
It
like,
seems like overeating has always been her problem, but I mean, what do I know?
I don't, when Obama was president for 8 years, we didn't like his policies and stuff. Did you just want to lay down and just give up?
No.
Did it
Never
affect you
once.
personally every day of your life? No.
I never Googled once moving to another country.
No, that was not an option I looked at. No.
No. It's just so funny. Oh, fun fact, I forgot about this. Billy Bush is actually George H.W. Bush's nephew, and of course makes him the cousin of George W. Bush and Jeb. So something
I did not know that. I thought it was just his name is Billy Bush.
That's what I figured too.
Yeah, he used to be on the shows, and I think he got tired of all the liberalism. And then, like a lot of them, he has his own podcast. He's pretty conservative.
Yeah. I mean, he's a lot like Bill Maher, and he's still got some leanings to the left, but for the most part, he's commonsensical, which is just, it's hard to find in Hollywood today.
Oh dear, we've got.
Yeah, we're up against a break. Let's do that, and when we come back, we're gonna talk a little bit about the Cracker Barrel crap that's going on, and it's not because there's crap on the menu, which there has been now for a couple of years. So hang in there. We'll be right back.
This is the Stay Off My Lawn show and podcast. The grumpy old men you know and love. We'll be right back.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Major Highway Line Painter.
Mr. Major Highway Line Painter.
Michelangelo had the Sistine Chapel. Da Vinci had his Mona Lisa. And you've got Route 22.
It's a long and lonely road.
Armed with a brush, 10,000 gallons of yellow paint, and a whole lot of drop cloths, you work your magic.
Abracadabra.
Most painters worry about the subtle play of light and shadow. You just worry about getting hit by a truck.
Watch out now.
So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light to loosen the turnpike. When it comes to great art, your work kicks asphalt.
Kick some major asphalt.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
That's a good one. I'm gonna have to remember that. Toulouse of the Turnpike.
I am surprised because I never know which one of those you're going to play. I just love them. They crack me up. That they didn't say something about, painting that flattened possum alongside the road or whatever. Because I have seen it where they just, it's there, and I'm not stopping. It's
You don't see a lot of live possums on the highway, so I mean that's because that's where they are.
yeah.
And,
It's like, why'd the possum go to the other side of the road? We don't know because they've never made it.
They've never made it. That was my wife said that about the armadillo we had in the backyard digging holes and stuff, and it's like I went out there and it was a good size one. We got a good sized cat, and it was much bigger than my cat. So it's like the cat's like, nope, I'm out, and she was like all out there. It's like I'm with you, Dad, and then it was like, nope. So anyway, I was telling her, she goes, I have never seen a live armadillo. They're always dead on the side of the road. It's very, very similar to a possum. Somebody told, speaking of that, and we're way off track here, but somebody said a story. I think we were in Sunday school, adult Sunday school, about 10, 15 years ago, said that, how did it go? When a possum's on the side of the road, the reason they run out in front of you is because they're sitting there going, it's too dark to cross. It's too dark to cross. Oh, we got light. So they run out in front of the car. And so anyway, yeah, I always think of that whenever I see one dead on the side of the road.
Oh, we can see now. Okay.
Well, I mean, you don't want to run out into something. You don't know what's out there. The big news last week and over the weekend was this whole Cracker Barrel rebranding overhaul SHIT show.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, my ears.
It looks like they bought the logo on Fiverr, does it not? I mean,
Well, no. Somebody said it looks like it was something that was made in Canva.
Canva. Yeah, I did see that one too.
It cracked me up. A lot of people go, what? Oh, if you haven't worked in it, yep.
Yeah.
You can do some really cool things. That just looks like, well, I'm a beginner in this. If I do it that way, that'll look good.
I could have made that in my light version of Adobe Photoshop, my light version, the free version. I could have made something a lot better than that. But anyway, if you're not familiar with Robbie Starbuck, he's really made a name for himself over the last several years. He's a young guy; he's in his 30s, but he has his own podcast, and he had some excellent analysis on how Cracker Barrel got to where they are. And here's part of that.
You've probably heard by now about Cracker Barrel changing their logo from old American nostalgia to cold, dead, lifeless, and modern. In a comedic way, as one friend said to me, they removed the cracker and the barrel, so what's left now? And the answer's nothingness. The same nothingness that the left wants you to stomach in every other facet of your life. And if you think this is just a logo change, you're wrong. We investigated Cracker Barrel. I think the best way to start is by telling you what you've been funding if you've gone to Cracker Barrel in recent years. So let's start with Nashville Pride. Yes, Cracker Barrel is a proud sponsor of Nashville Pride and have been part of it for over a decade, along with participating for multiple years in Evansville, Indiana's Third River City Pride event. They even made LGBTQ+ rocking chairs for these Pride events, the same Pride rocking chair that they put front and center in their Tennessee corporate office and at their 2019 Managers Conference for the Cracker Barrel managers. They don't just want to force their soulless, godless, hedonistic vision of the future onto blue hellscapes that their party controls. No, it's much more important to them that they shove it down into your towns, into your kids' schools, and into your way of life. So sticking a pro-trans rocking chair into their headquarters in a predominantly conservative town is exactly the type of thing they revel in doing. And for a food service company, you might be thinking their focus should be good food and good service, but their own website says, quote, this year, Cracker Barrel's focus was to be a part of the Pride experience. The Cracker Barrel website says that they believe that diversity and pride are pillars that should guide decision-making year-round. In fact, to uphold these values, Cracker Barrel also engaged with the HRC and the Out and Equal Advocates Workplace Conference.
So if you're not familiar, I had to look this up because I was not familiar with really either one of those. I have heard about the Human Rights Coalition, the HRC. I always think of Hillary Clinton when I hear it. But both of them are corporations that try to twist the arms of their they're advocate groups that try to twist the arm of corporations to incorporate pride things like logos in there during the month of June, or to put out products that are rainbowish type thing. And things like transgender push for youngsters, they fund some of that push and everything. So, I mean, it's really an evil group, if you ask me. So anyway, if you weren't familiar like I was not familiar with all that. So
yeah, it's another, and I've been following and looking at some of this stuff, and there's always the trolls in there. Really? Oh, you people, oh, geez, you're just all butthurt over a logo. No, it's not the logo. It's a piece of Americana that you're wiping out because you folks don't like it. Right. And then I swear to you, I was telling the wife, I said, this has all the makings of BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street getting in, buying the stock, being the major shareholders, and then saying, this will be your new CEO, and they will do what we want them to do. And it was like, it was less than a day later, and I just looked at her. She goes, how did you? I said, I didn't. I've just seen it too many times where they've gone in and stripped a company and then sold its parts were worth way more than the company itself was. You bought you got in and ruined Joann Fabrics, which was a very profitable group. They didn't have a lot of debt. There was no problem until BlackRock and State Street got in there and just destroyed them. They took and diversified, moved the property off, and then took their leasing company and bought the property, and then they took and leased it back to Joann Fabrics at a ridiculous high rate, and all of a sudden Joann Fabrics is just in debt up to their eyeballs, and they didn't do anything.
Yeah. That's all it takes. I mean, I don't understand why, if you've got a lot of money to invest like that, why would you run it into the ground? Like you said, I guess the parts are better.
It's short-term gain. So that everything looks good. You've got lots of money. It's selling stuff off. This stuff started to happen at Tractor Supply too. Yeah. And fortunately they didn't get their way on getting the CEO in that they wanted. The CEO came out and apologized profusely, put a letter out. We will no longer, wiped out the whole DEI thing, because all of a sudden their bottom line went just like it's doing at Cracker Barrel. They've lost close to $500,000 in capital. Yeah.
Half a billion.
I'm sorry. With a B.
Yeah. I know last week alone, they lost over 100 million, I believe.
It was, pushing, since they started pushing some of this, it was, like close to 200 million in capital loss. So it's just, I mean, you look at their stock and it does, over the last little bit, it's doing this, and then when they actually put out the new logo, it just almost went a straight line straight down.
And then she's out there lying through her teeth, that CEO, saying that, the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive.
Our members love it. And then we got all this stuff out there in the media. They're just, everybody's so excited for it. And it's like, who are you trying to convince? Because our customers like it too. No, they don't like it.
No, nobody likes that. There's a great, I don't know if you've heard this. I haven't talked to you about this before, but there's a song written and sung from the perspective of Uncle Herschel. Have you heard this? It's a like a go woke, go broke song. It's really, really good. I want to play it for us here.
Calvin Klein said being morbidly obese was cool. Then Nike used a man in leggings to sell women's clothes. They must think we're fools. Go woke, go broke. That's what they say. Try selling folks what they don't want. You'll find there's hell to pay. If you ask me, you should keep your politics to yourself, and we'll both have a better day. Greedy banks lecturing me about DEI. Are they for real? And some whack jobs named Ben and Jerry want me to boycott Israel. It's enough to make you reach for a beer, but Bud's woke too. Next they'll call it the Queen of Beers. Guess this business plan don't pay. Best Foods don't want your opinions on Trump. Just want mayo for my sandwich, that okay? Why, oh, why do brands insist on committing suicide? Cracker Barrel, you could left me on the logo and just let it ride. Hey, Wall Street, God, politics, and sex ain't your business. So do me a favor and stay the heck out of mine. Go woke, go broke. That's what they say. Had enough of your brand sermonizing like yesterday. Stick to selling your screens, beans, and widget machines. Oh, and did I mention Sydney? Sweeney has great genes.
I thought that was worth sharing. That was pretty
Yeah,
good.
I saw a little bit of this. They took an animated
Uncle
the
Herschel
Cracker-
on the logo.
yeah, on the Cracker Barrel thing. He's playing away, and it's it really well done. What
It
you can
was.
do nowadays. Oh,
Quickly
that's
done. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know whether it was AI done or not, but it was really good. But the message is perfect in that.
yeah.
So.
Oh, I agree 100%. It's just so, like I say, these trolls that are in there. Oh, you're getting all hurt over a logo. No, it's not the logo. It's everything else that's done. It's like I said, it's kind of a piece of Americana. And you and I were talking off air about their food, and since BlackRock and Vanguard are the two biggest, I'm sure they wanted to cheapen things. They went from anything that resembled fresh to stuff out of a can and frozen. And guess what it tastes like? Stuff out of a can and frozen.
Absolutely.
It's and I used to love to go have breakfast there and stuff. Their cheesy hash browns were really good. Now they just bring them out. Somebody said the other day they bring them out cold.
Oh
What?
my gosh. Oh my
No.
God. Yeah, we used to go for dinner a lot of times because their roast beef platter is always fantastic.
Yeah,
but
wife loved
man,
that.
that went way downhill. I mean, they actually took that off the menu for a while. It's like that was my favorite thing. I don't know. Like you said, the whole DEI and the pride stuff. No wonder you said their margins were like 1.5%, 1.6%.
1.6, yeah, is what they're working on razor thin, and they thought, well, this will bring it back. No, what few regulars you have now left.
To compare it, McDonald's works on anywhere between 5 and 6%.
Yep.
So it's and a lot of the fast food places are in that neighborhood between 4 and 6%. So for them to be 1.6% and then kind of like stab themselves in the chest with a steak knife, I just don't get it. But
Well, they're running the company in the ground. They found a CEO that does not look like something that's ever been inside. If you saw that lady in a Cracker Barrel, you'd go, wow,
you're in the wrong place.
She's not. I'm assuming she's taking her grandparents out or something. It's like, what the
must
heck?
have broke down is what I would have thought.
She does not belong there. She doesn't belong as the CEO. She has no idea what the culture was. Oh, we're just going to change it. Everybody's loving it. No, they're not.
No, they certainly are not. Speaking of people who don't love things, some are obviously not happy about the National Guard helping the D.C. police, even though crime is down 83%.
I just saw this morning that it's 12 days in a row with no murders.
No murders. That's right. That's right.
That doesn't happen.
No, it sure doesn't. And as she tends to do, Jasmine Crockett goes on a rant on Gavin Newsom's podcast. I wonder what Gavin works on more, the podcast or being governor. It seems like the podcast.
I think it's a podcast because it sure as heck ain't being a governor. And we'll have more about that here shortly.
We will. But anyway, you're going to have to hear this rant for yourself. Here she is.
So, the idea that we thought January 6th was a problem and we thought, oh man, that's bad. And, his army then was a bunch of white nationalist races, whether we're talking about the Proud Boys or the neo-Nazis or whomever, those guys were the ones that made up his army on that day to try to pull a coup. Now you're talking about a guy that every time he disagrees with something, he uses the power that he has because no one around him is checking him, whether we're talking about those in his administration or whether we're talking about the courts or if we're talking about the Congress. That is one of the reasons he is so desperate to make sure that he can win in the midterms, is because he knows that Democrats, it's not even about partisanship. It's about doing what's right. It's about doing the American thing. And to be clear, you can wave all the flags you want to, but I am telling you right now that the most unpatriotic people that we have in this country are MAGA and this president. We are the real patriots, and it is time for us to take our flag back and show people what America is about. You can't say that you love the Constitution while decimating it with every single stroke of a pen for an executive order, while decimating it, while you are disrespecting our troops that have signed up to protect our freedoms, not just here, but abroad. And then you're taking people's freedoms away using those exact same troops.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the only people losing their freedom are the criminals? Is that?
That's all that I've heard, and citizens and stuff are going up to the folks, the guys that are in the National Guard and thanking them for being there and saying, I've never been out this time of night ever. I would never go out when it becomes dark. Wintertime is a long time in the house. Just, people are using the parks again because they were just riddled with drug abuse and all kinds of other stuff. That ain't happening no more.
Yeah, I saw one guy make a video. He was walking through near this park. It might have been the same thing you saw. He says, 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was a bunch of homeless out there. There were tents. There were people shooting up. I mean, it was, and he showed the video. It was like it was all cleaned up. And this is a local, obviously somebody who's happy with the way everything has gotten cleaned up. So.
How do you go out and protest against crime being taken care of? I don't get it. Excuse me. Do you like being overridden by some of these people and being shot at or getting killed in crossfire from two gangs that's happened a lot? Innocent children have just been.
If Biden did that, they'd have been peeing on themselves, being so happy. So I mean, this is, it's all because Trump is behind it. That's all. It's just a big wad of TDS. So.
Well, and saying that, he can't do that. D.C. is not a state. It is a federally run piece of ground, and they'll go, we need to make it a state. Not going to be, ain't ever going to happen. You're going to have to change the Constitution because it's not going to happen.
I read one thing where if it was a state, it would be the most dangerous state to live in the entire country.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, no doubt, because...
And it's been that way for years.
Oh, I know.
And they have some of the strictest, most awful gun laws on what you can and who can have. Well, yeah, nobody can have any guns in D.C., so the criminals are. It makes it really easy. You just mow everybody down.
Heard about these shootings where it's at a gun-free zone. That thing in Orlando, that gay nightclub that got shot up, that was a gun-free zone. Well, I mean, yeah, it was a terrible thing to happen. Nobody should have done that, but. It's a gun-free zone. This guy didn't seem to matter. The laws didn't seem to matter to him.
What? The sign didn't stop him? Oh, I can't shoot people up there. There's a sign.
And this is thinking outside the box. But you know what would have stopped him is one of those people that were in that bar that had a gun in the back hip of their in their pants that could have taken him out before he killed so many people. But I mean that's just crazy to me. A little common sense wouldn't hurt you. But anyway.
Yeah, they don't know what to do when they get shot back at. I just saw a video on that. A couple of thugs going into we call them a C-store, a convenience store, and with their gun turned sideways and everything, and and the cashier just walked out from behind the cash register and then pulled his gun and dropped them both.
I saw a video the other day where a guy was road rage incident where he got out of his truck and ran over to somebody's window, had a gun in his hand. It wasn't pointed at him, but he's beating on the window trying to break it. So the guy inside happened to have a gun, like I would have, and he would boom, 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 and it was like it was over. It was. You just don't know who you're messing with. You need to get some self-control and stop being so angry about things. That's just my take on that. It's just
enough of that. Anyway, let's get back to our buddy in California.
We're up against a break. Let's do that real
we
quick.
are.
Then when we come back, and we will talk a little bit about Gigi. Greasy. Well, yeah, Gigi. We'll call him Gigi.
I like that. I got to remember that. Gigi.
The way he crosses his legs and swings his leg, I mean, it kind of looks like a Gigi.
That's because there's nothing there to pinch.
Oh, wow. See, that's why I couldn't do it. Okay, I got it. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Kendra Rains, and I love these two old guys. That's why I listen to the Stay Off My Lawn podcast. And you should too.
This is the sound of a space clock aboard a U.S. satellite 180 miles above the Earth. No one winds up this timepiece. It's powered by a tiny battery, a battery that delivers power for years without replacement. Now the same type of battery, the Duracell battery, can bring new reliability and long life to your battery-operated equipment. Radios, cameras, toys, all run far longer. Duracell batteries, the long-distance power cells, outlast any ordinary battery. The same type of battery that keeps space clocks running for years can bring long life to anything powered by batteries. Dura, as in durable. Cell.
Do you hear that, Biggie?
As in power cell, the Duracell battery, made by Mallory.
I thought I was going to pass out for a minute. I didn't know what that was.
Wow, that one went on for a while talking about that was before the days of boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
copper top battery.
They didn't live up to the 30-second rule. That's for sure. Oh, gosh.
Oh, wow, I hadn't heard that in a long time.
Yeah. Bed Bath & Beyond went out of business a few years ago, but have been bought, and they are going to start opening some stores. And the CEO, his name is Marcus Lamanis, if it's Americanized.
I was going to say, if you say Aurelius, I'm going to come over there and pop you.
No, he is not Roman. But and maybe he keeps it French, Lemonie, it would be, I guess. Anyway, he released a statement last week, and Richard's going to read that for us.
He said, "We will not open or operate retail stores in California. This decision isn't about politics. It's about reality. California has created one of the most overregulated, expensive, and risky environments for businesses in America. It's a system that makes it harder to employ people, harder to keep doors open, and harder to deliver value to customers. The result? Higher taxes, higher fees, higher wages that many businesses simply cannot sustain, and endless regulations that strangle growth. Even when the state announces a budget surplus, it's built on the backs of ordinary citizens who are paying too much and businesses who are squeezed until they break. At Bed Bath & Beyond, our responsibility is to our customers and our shareholders. We will not participate in a system that undermines both. Instead, we are investing in a California strategy that works. 24 to 48-hour delivery and, in many cases, same-day service. Californians will continue to get the products they love through bedbathandbeyond.com, but without the inflated cost created by an unsustainable model. We're taking a stand because it's time for common sense.
That's what we've always said on this show. It's like, we're not necessarily Republicans. We lean conservative on a lot of things, but if it doesn't make common sense, I don't care who comes up with the idea. I've opposed Trump on a lot of things too. Let's just get back to common sense. Sit back, think about it, take a sip of water and go, okay. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of businesses leaving California. You said there's been over 1 million people left, right?
Right close to 1 million people have left. They have 1 million fewer people in California despite moving in and moving out, and it cost almost twice as much to rent a U-Haul to get out of California because there aren't any coming in. It's a real problem. The other thing is, it's like 900,000. It's pushing 1 million that have left over the last few years. On top of that, you go, well, it's 1 million people, whatever. Well, you should be losing a representative, for one. Two, there's something like 400 businesses that have said, see ya, And that's even worse.
We talked about In-N-Out moving to Tennessee.
Yeah, and they're happening all the time. You've got HP, you've got Oracle, you've got SpaceX is moving out. You've got a lot of big name companies that are providing a lot of the taxes. Well, you're gonna be. It's a socialist state. Let's just call it what it is. And you're about to run out of other people's money because you went from when Gigi. I love that. When Gigi became governor, they had a $60 billion surplus. They're now $40 billion in the hole. That's $100 billion just for his governorship alone. You cannot keep trying to take from others and give to those who don't want to do anything but sit on their ass and give me the money.
Well, a lot of that money also went to providing food and health care to illegals.
Yep.
Because they're this sanctuary state, which is wonderful for you. But I mean, don't ask for government assistance if that's how you're going to spend your money. I mean, if you're not a good steward of your money, that's the way it goes. This Marcus guy was interviewed a couple of days later about any response he got from California, and this is what he had to say.
Well, I think the thing that was really surprising to me is that I tried to articulate in a non-aggressive way exactly why our company wasn't going to reinvest capital in California. And what I found out this afternoon is that Governor Newsom has enough time to respond to a tweet as opposed to a private DM or having somebody reach out to remind everybody in America that in 2023, before we bought the intellectual property, that the company went out of business. We all know that Bed Bath went out of business a few years ago. Now we're trying to make a comeback. And I would think that a governor would want to attract investment, attract capital into the state. In fact, he did the opposite. He rejected it. It's a very simple model for me. As a capitalist myself, I want to do business in all 50 states, and I want to do business with all people of all political parties. That's part of being a capitalist. But what I don't want to do is put my shareholders, my employees, and myself in a situation where we're regulated to a zero. And we don't want to spend $100 million coming into California and then find out that the state's going to take it all and waste it all.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's just common sense.
Well, yeah, they don't have not Bed Bath & Beyond, but the Democrats in California don't have the common sense contained in a gnat fart.
No. That's good. That's good. But I mean, I don't think that it's almost like we were talking about BlackRock and Vanguard. It's almost like they don't understand how the system works. The capitalist system works for everybody. If you got to figure out the rules and figure out how.
They're still on this kick with socialism and that. Capitalism has lifted more people in the world than socialism has ever worked, because socialism has never worked, will never work. You run out of other people's money, and it's right there in front of you in California, and it's getting worse.
Yeah, and even more evil is that communist governments have killed more of their own people by far than capitalist governments, because capitalist governments, I think, are still at zero. But I mean, you got people like Stalin and Pol Pot and Mao. I mean, they killed a lot of their own people. I mean, why in the world do some people in this country look at that model and say that's what we want for here?
Because they've not been told the truth about it. It's not how it's presented in the indoctrination centers across the country.
It's true.
Whether it be in regular public schools or in the universities are terrible. They're giving you all the great stuff instead of the actual facts.
No, you're right. You're right. Hey, the president had another win on Friday. Here's Fox News' Brian Yennis explaining what that actually entails.
Tonight, 5 justices of New York State's Appellate Division unanimously deciding to throw out a more than $500 million fine imposed on President Trump by Judge Arthur Engoron last year in a civil fraud case brought by New York's Attorney General Letitia James. 2 justices even calling the more than $515 million penalty, quote, an excessive fine that violates the 8th Amendment of the United States Constitution. But while the penalty was thrown out, the result of the case case was not. A majority, 4 out of the 5 judges, reaffirmed President Trump, his sons, and the Trump Organization are liable for business fraud, for falsely inflating their net worth to obtain better loans. The court also confirmed Attorney General James had the authority to pursue this case. One justice, David Friedman, disagreed, calling A.G. James's case essentially a political witch hunt. Quote, plainly, her ultimate goal was the derailment of President Trump's political career and the destruction of his real estate business. The voters have obviously rendered a verdict on his political career. This bench today unanimously derails the effort to destroy his business. President Trump agrees, writing on Truth Social, quote, total victory in the fake New York State Attorney General Letitia James case. He then called James a corrupt and incompetent attorney general who only brought this case in order to hurt me politically. Tonight is the latest legal win for the president, who successfully has had both the January 6th federal election interference and the classified documents cases dismissed. Meanwhile, the Georgia election RICO case is frozen in legal limbo, and the president is appealing his New York criminal conviction on falsified business documents, along with E. Jean Carroll's defamation case.
And Attorney General James said that she's going to appeal, and it's rumored that she was so upset she ate 3 boxes of Twinkies. That's a rumor.
Only 3?
Only
I
3.
thought that was her normal daily intake.
It could be. It could be. Oh my gosh! So it was a partial win, not necessarily a full win, but
it's taking stuff that was that might have been a misdemeanor at best. You had some of that crap that's gone on, and when you have the business, what is it, Deutschland Bank, was it?
Deutsche
Something
Bank.
like, yeah, Deutsche Bank, come in and say, no, we do business with him again. He paid interest. We gave him the loan. He paid the interest on it. He paid it early. We'd be happy to do business with him again. No, we're going to get him for, really, this is coming from someone who has committed mortgage fraud.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, and then he's been debanked too, remember? And we were going to talk about this last week.
Citibank, yeah.
Yeah, what was it, Citibank? And
yep, I will not do anything with Citibank or Chase. They're both as crooked as a dog's hind leg. I don't care for either one of them.
But I think it was a few years ago, they just said, you got to come get your money and take it somewhere else. And it's like, for really no reason other than TDS. Again, I mean, the hatred for this man is just, it's remarkable. Absolutely remarkable.
Let somebody that's fixing this country from the destruction that it's gone through.
Yep.
So,
and in a related story, the Democrats are profusely bleeding voters, while Republicans are picking them up.
What a segue! Bravo!
Yeah, see, look at that. We just had to. We have to try. That's all. We don't always hit the mark, but you know.
Very good. Yes, it's
numbers.
Yeah, the what's happening to the Democratic Party, and I had to explain this to someone recently. The math on it wasn't mathing for them, but you have the Democrats had lost 2.1 million voter registrations. The Republicans gained 2.4. So the two of those together makes 4.5 million increase in voters for Republicans, because when, say you start out even like this and they drop down here, you're still even here, all of a sudden you get the 2 point, now you're doubly behind. Yep. And there it's over 30 states that keep track of the registration, and it doesn't matter. Every single one of them had blue arrows going down. They were losing every single state.
So you got to wonder, if you did add in the other 20 states that don't count Republican and Democrat registers, I mean, you got to wonder how much it might be, upwards of 7-8 million. I mean, you just don't know.
It's just not going well. And we were talking off the air about this, that the Democrats are still doing and pulling some of the same stuff they did to lose the last election. They're still doing right now. It's like, oh, and then they think this list of don't say these words anymore, birthing person and sperm donor, whatever the heck they've got for terms. It's like, don't say that stuff anymore. And apparently you shouldn't be using Hitler anymore either, because now they're off on
Grand Ayatollah now.
Like, what? What the hell are you even talking about? So, yeah, the Democrats, I don't know how they're still walking around. Their feet have got to look like Swiss cheese. They've shot themselves in the foot so much.
That's a visual. I like that. Yeah, I don't want to look at any of their feet, but yeah, that's really, our favorite statistician over at CNN, Harry Enton, was actually talking about some of the other wins that you might not hear so much about that Trump has had. It's not just gaining of Republican voters. It's more than that. Here we go.
Look, the Democratic brand right now has about the appeal with the American voter as the Cracker Barrel rebrand has with the American consumers. Bad, bad, bad. What are you doing? Oh, my goodness gracious. What are we talking about here in terms of big party registration changes in the key swing states? Let's look at the key 4 swing states that, in fact, do keep track of registration by party. Look, the Republican Party is in their best position at this point in the cycle since at least 2005 in all 4 of these key battleground states. We go out to the Southwest, Arizona. How about Nevada? Republicans haven't done this well since 2005. Oh, my goodness gracious, at this point in the cycle. North Carolina, I couldn't find a point at which Republicans were doing better at this point in the cycle. It's at least this century. It probably goes way back in the last century. And Pennsylvania, very similar. Republicans doing better at this point than at any point this century, at least as far as I could find.
I love his enthusiasm. I wish I could be that enthusiastic.
I do. He just cracks me up. He loves what he's doing, and when he finds stuff that's like, you're getting the straight skinny from, I don't know why CNN still keeps him, because that's not what they do. But he has the numbers. Here it is. These are the facts on. Bye-bye.
They keep Scott Jennings on there, too. I think it's just because they like to say that they're fair and balanced or whatever. But, I mean, it's like we love to make mention of whenever they talk. I love Scott Jennings. I love this guy. It's fantastic.
They're fantastic. You're talking about the Democratic Party. I saw a meme the other day of the Titanic sinking partway, and it says Democratic Party on the side of the boat.
Oh, gosh, yeah, I can see that. Jump in the lifeboats, but don't use these words.
It's not going to help.
It's not going to help, yeah. We need a palate cleanser after all that.
Please.
We've got a Paul Harvey rest of the story about an encounter in the desert. And now...
the rest of the story. A solitary automobile is driving down a long, lonely stretch of highway through a dry, desolate swath of Southern California. Welcome to the parched Mojave Desert. The lone motorist realizes his engine is near overheating, so he stops the car. He turns off the ignition. The engine will cool off in a few minutes. That'll give the driver time to stretch his legs. The desert is bright and strangely silent. The traveler muses that he might listen very carefully and perhaps hear the echoed voices of Spanish explorers or maybe Indian war cries across the chasms of time. In the distance, a great dust devil, sort of a miniature clear-air tornado, flicks through the Palo Verde. Invisible waves of heat rise from the desert floor, the stuff of which mirages are made, the motorist thinks. And then suddenly he sees it. It's quite far away at first, slowly emerging from the stark desert wildness, slowly coming toward him. A man, surely, for the figure appears to be walking upright, and yet its shape and its movement is not quite human. And it comes closer, and the closer it gets, the stranger it appears. Its head is proportionally large, almost perfectly round, like a big metal ball. Its body is bulky and seemingly encased in a peculiar, thick material. And at last, this monster of the Mojave is close enough for the traveler to be certain that it's no mirage. It is indeed real, and it has come from nowhere on this earth. The motorist jumps into his car and turns the ignition key, but the engine won't start. And the thing, this spaceman, is drawing closer. The motorist scrambles from behind the wheel and starts running anywhere just to get away, running out into the desert, and the spaceman apparition starts running after him. The motorist looks back over his shoulder. He's terrified to see the creature in pursuit, and the creature is gaining. Within 50 yards, now within 25 yards, suddenly the pursued man stumbles, falls to the desert dust. He thinks this is how his life will end, in the middle of some wilderness nowhere, at the hands of a man from Mars. But this is the rest of the story. The motorist was nobody you know, just a traveler in the American Southwest. Yet once upon a time, almost half a century ago, there was an American aviator who dreamed of flying higher than any man had ever flown before, far beyond the Earth's troposphere, up into the stratosphere, 9 miles high into the sky. And for this adventure, the aviator would design for himself a pressurized space suit, to be made of heavy, rubberized cloth and metal, the very first functional space suit, really, and the pilot's wife would stitch it together on her sewing machine. Well, the pilot succeeded. He did indeed reach the 9-mile-high mark by an airplane in 1934. And he is among our nation's most famous aviators, Wiley Post. You'll remember it was he who died with Will Rogers in an Alaskan crash some years later. Aviation history also records that in 1934, during a daring high-altitude attempt, an engine failure forced Post into an emergency landing on a dry lake bed in the Mojave Desert, and that he, still wearing this one-of-a-kind hand-sewn spacesuit, sought the aid of a passing motorist for a lift to the nearest town. The motorist was never able to get anybody to believe his story, until now that we all know the rest of the story.
He didn't say whether he actually gave him a ride or not. I mean, I'm assuming.
Well, and turning off your car when it's overheating is not good because it's going to get even hotter.
Yeah.
Just if anybody needs to know, the being taught things with older cars, turn on your heater.
I was going to say, it sounds counterintuitive, but turn your heater on.
Turn your heater on full blast, run it through that. It's another radiator for it to cool down, and it goes through the cycle. So,
And then, like you said, once you stop, it's like it's going to bake. Yeah, it's over.
Yep.
Well, we hope you were somewhat informed and had fun like we did, as usual. Don't forget you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon Smart Speaker, Rumble, or wherever you find podcasts.
And if all that's difficult to find, just go to our good old website of stayoffmylawn.us for all our past and present episodes.
And we'll see you next week, folks.
Toodles, and thanks so much, everybody, for listening. Tell a friend, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.